Deliver, it's Honda. To make the 2004 S2000 a bit more satisfying as a daily driver, Honda embarked on an extensive program of careful upgrades. Those changes surface with the latest S2000 aerodynamic nose with new headlight clusters and repositioned air intakes. There's a cleaner rear fascia, also with new lights and larger reshaped exhaust outlets, and standard 17-inch alloy wheels replacing last year's 16-inch hoops. The easy-to-use power top with glass rear window and defroster is unchanged. You need only to open the latches on the windshield frame and flip a switch to access bright and fresh air. Inside the S2000 cockpit, there's a bit more shoulder and elbow room thanks to a redesigned console and door panels. It's still a tight fit for tall folks thanks to the fixed steering. A tilt wheel is needed. The round dash remains as before, with most controls literally at the driver's fingertips. But 2004 does see the addition of XM satellite radio to the S2000's short list of options. All nice enough, but hardly an impressive list of improvements. But those start when you go under the S2000 skin. The dual overhead cam, variable valve timing, four-cylinder engine has been stroked and now displaces 2.2 liters. Power output remains at 240, but now peaks at 7,800 PM instead of last year's 8,300. Torque is increased from 153 pound-feet to 162, with peak production at 6,500 RPM, a full grand lower than last year. To reach the wheels, horsepower and torque flow through a revised 6-speed manual transmission with lower ratios in the first 5 gears. The direct linkage delivers short-sized throws, while a Torsen limited slip differential keeps power delivery to the wider tires smooth. It offers for an S2000 that's significantly easier to drive in everyday traffic. Adequate power is available as low as 3,000 RPM. That's half the revs needed before. So there's less drivetrain function and fewer shifts needed in the mid-range. That's not to say that the S2000 drives like an Acura. It's still a purist sports car with a ride and fairly high road noise. And it's a bit quick. 0 to 60 takes only 6.3 seconds, while the quarter mile runs out in 14.6 seconds at 98 miles per hour. While times are down only a few tenths from the original S2000, the improved punch at the bottom end makes it feel like a quantum leap. And leap it does out of the 2 miles of tight, twisty turns at Georgia's Roebling Road Raceway, just like the proverbial scalded cat. It's easier to drive at low revs, but max power is still made at over 6,000 RPM. Keep the engine spinning up high, and the S2000 surges forward time that you press the go pedal. But note that the red line is lowered from 9 to 8,000 RPMs. Make sure all the new engine bits stay together. Of course, you can't increase power if you don't improve. The S2000's double wishbone suspension has been revamped with new shocks, bigger springs, and a thinner stabilizer bar. That's in addition to a reinforced monocoque frame and retuned electrically assisted rack ring. The upshot of which is on turn-in, still sharp steering response and better to the limits. In fact, chassis balance is just about perfect and body roll almost non-existent. It's one sweet handling car. So sweet that it turned in quicker lap times than both a Mazda RX-8 and Nissan 350Z we were testing at the track at the same time. And what does this combination of racetrack speed and everyday drivability cost? Base for the S2000 is $33,290. Only a couple of $100 more than last year. And that's a lot less money than a Porsche Boxster and a lot more fun Chrysler Crossfire. Call it user-friendly excitement, a product that no other company delivers quite as well as Honda.
Fine.